All right, all right, all right. How's everybody doing, man? Happy Saturday to everybody. Hopefully everybody has had a good start to their weekend. Before we get started, go ahead and let me know if the audio is good. Let me know if the visual is good. We got some things to talk about. Obviously we got football to talk about, but before we get into Giants football, we got to talk about those Knicks. Just for a quick minute. Just for a quick New York minute, we got to talk about the Knicks and what's happening right now in this NBA series. So hopefully you guys can bear with me just a little bit to share my excitement and my enjoyment in what the Knicks are doing. But let me know if I'm good, man. Thumbs up or just say that I'm good in the comment section. Thank you very much. Bully Bill said I'm good. We good. Okay. What's going on, man? Corky said it sounds great. Okay, thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. I don't know if everybody's a Knicks fan that's in here right now. And you know what? It doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter, except for my man OKC Donald, man. I haven't forgotten what you said from last week, OKC, and I know you're gonna be in here at some point in time, and I can't wait to talk to you. But shout out to everybody in the building. Quick roll call. Luann is in the building. Say, yeah, what's going on? My big brother's in the building. Said, yo, let's go. Big Dash knows what.
Big Dash knows what?
Shout out to my big brother. Real G says, what's good, Big Dash? What's going on, Real G? Jarius in the building. What's going on, Jarius? Again, my man Corky in the building. Say good evening. Big Dash. Go Knicks. That's a fact. Let's go Knicks. Miguel in the building. He says, what's good, Chat Dash? Ready for some football talk here. We got some things to talk about, man. We got mini camp coming up next week, and then after that, it's going to be an absolute hiatus. These guys are going their trips with their families and stuff like that, and then they come back at the end of July. So it's going to be dry. But you know how we do. It's a family reunion here, so we still going to keep these shows going. Luann said, let's go Knicks. That's a fact. Jarius, go Knicks. Bully Bill said, yeah, what's going on, man? Deb Ellis in the building. What's going on, Deb? How you doing? Hopefully you're having a good start to your weekend. Knicks in 4. Listen, man. That's what I want to talk about really, really briefly. Shout out to my man, Robbie, always in the building. Salute to the Facebook crowd as well. Robbie always showing up on Facebook, man. I appreciate you, man. I absolutely appreciate you for your love and support. Miguel, I'm going to put this up. I'm going to leave this up just for a little bit. Knicks in 4. We know as Knicks fans, we know what it would mean, not just for the Knicks to win a championship, but if the Knicks win it in 4, that means they win it in New York. And I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of jokes going around and stuff like that. But if the Knicks win in New York, if the Knicks win, period. But if the Knicks win in New York, better call the National Guard. National Guard better be on speed dial. And I say that in a good way. In a good way. My man LT Hillard in the building. He said, we back, Giants. That's a fact. My man Big Blue for life. You always throw me off with the Dallas Star. That looks like a Dallas Star to me. He said, what's up, Big Dash? No, here we go. Let's go, Cowboys. I always appreciate the love and support, man. Yeah. Dallas fans also claim the color blue. It ain't the same blue, though. It ain't the same blue. Thank you. Let me know the sounds good. BB Steph, what's going on? Wild Child in the building, what's going on? He says, all good, brother. Let's go, Knicks. That's a fact. Arline, what's going on? Real G says, if neighbors can't get ready for week 1, don't worry. No one player defines the team's success. You're cheating already, man. You must have saw my notes. We're going to talk about that. That's one of the topics this week. I expect Malik Neighbors to be a topic, moving forward anyway. Always finds his way into the news for whatever reason. Injury reason. We had the whole arrest scare and all that stuff that ended up being nothing. But it's something every week. Luann says almost lost the game last night. Let me tell you something, man. I was tweeting throughout the night too. Had my sons with me watching the game, and my middle son was like, these refs, man. And I couldn't, the refs yesterday. The Knicks had to play the Spurs and the refs yesterday, especially in that first half. Like, I don't get it, and it was so blatant. That one offensive foul on Cat, like, come on, man. Come on, was it Castle or Vassell that was hanging all over him, man? Pause. You know what I mean? But despite all of that, despite facing the Spurs and the Spurs and the refs, They came out with the victory. One point lead though, but they fought back too, man, because at one point in time they were down 10 points late in the game, and it came all the way back, and it still wasn't one of those outstanding games from Jalen Brunson yet. So we still haven't seen that flawless game. But shout out to Shamet, shout out to Miguel Bridges for stepping up, OG for stepping up, Cat for stepping up. Shout out to those guys, man. Shout out to those guys. McBride always good for a 3-pointer. He always good for about 5 points. But shout out to Hart too. Again, foul trouble almost. But yeah, these guys were able to pull through and win the game, and now they're up 2-0. I don't want to jinx it. I got my broom ready, but I don't want to jinx it because it's very, very important that these New York Knicks, I'm so used to saying the Giants, I can't even say New York without saying Giants, that these New York Knicks pull this through, because it's going to mean a lot to a lot of people. Like a lot to a lot of people. It's people in their 50s right now that haven't seen the Knicks championship. You know what I mean? People half a century that have not seen the Knicks win a championship. This is big, man. This is big, man, for sure. Mo says, Dash, I subscribe. Hopefully you can defend your head coach. I'm gonna leave it alone for right now. I'm gonna leave it alone for right now. I'm gonna leave it alone. Thank you for letting me know that I'm good. OKC, there he is. There he is. What's going on, OKC? What's going on, OKC? How you doing, man? We ready to have some cordial conversations tonight, right? That's my guy right there. That's my guy right there. Anthony Cherry, what's going on? Says Big Dash, what's going on? Go Knicks. That's a fact. That's what it is. Is it Law Dizzy? Law Dizzy said Big Dash knows Giants are going to the playoffs. That's a fact too. We got to make this playoff appearance for sure. Tyrone Hall, what's going on, Tyrone? He says salute to the chat. Orange and blue skies. That's a fact. Heavyweight champ in the building with the woo. What's going on, champ? Juan Santiago says, what up, Dash? Nixon 4. Let's go, Big Blue. Yeah, man. Listen. Hold on. We'll be at Wemby. Let's talk about Wemby. Wemby, the alien, look real human. Money Mike. Listen, man. Let's be honest, man. The Spurs are a good team. They're a young team. They're going to be a problem for a long time. But to me, it's just not their time. It's not written in the skies for the Spurs, man. Like my man said, orange and blue skies for real. It just seems like it's meant to be for the Knicks this time around. Like, let's talk about it. Last time the Knicks were in the championship, I was still in high school, man. I was actively still playing football last time the Knicks was in the championship. Yeah, man. Yeah. Some of y'all weren't even born yet last time the Knicks was in the championship. But shout out to y'all too, man. Shout out to y'all too. Luann says it's not if, but the Knicks will win at home. Listen, it's gonna be crazy, man. Those seats are ridiculous. The prices are ridiculous. I'm happy that they allowed the watch parties in front of Madison Square Garden. Watch parties going on all over the place. Bars are getting rich. Money is being spent and made in New York, despite the games being in San Antonio. That's a good thing. So just imagine how much business is going to boom, in the next 2 games. And I'm saying the next 2 games because I am absolutely pushing for a Knicks win in 4, just like most of the people in the chat right now, except for my man. OKC, man, let me know, man. Cause the Spurs beat your team. Ain't no way in hell you rooting for the Spurs against the Knicks, man. But let me know officially in the comment section. Let me know, okay? Because I know you was mad last week with the whole situation with your team and the Spurs, but you had a week to think about it. Let me know. Let me know who you rooting for. I want to know who you rooting for, man. Let me know. Let's go, Knicks. Deb says, I like Shamet. Yeah, shout out to Shamet, man. Becoming a household name. A little bit of a journeyman. Found a home in New York. Loving it. Alvarado, stepping it up, the defense. I will say this, though, man. Two things. I'm going to throw a jab. Well, I'm going to show some love, and then I'm going to throw a jab. In that first game, the way that they pressed Jalen Brunson, up the court. I'm not even giving Jalen Brunson the ball to bring up the court anymore. It's going to be Bridges. It's going to be hard to bring it up. Like these guys, but also you tire these guys out when you got to pick them up with the full court press too. But yesterday when they tried that whole half-ass, half a Shaq, hack Mitchell Robinson thing, it was soft, man. It was super soft. I was happy that pause. I was happy that Mitchell was able to knock down some of those free throws, but just that strategy is so corny, man. Strategy is so corny. I also will say this: Wemby can't do anything with Cat at the top of the key. I'm running my offense through Cat 99% of the time. I want Wemby out of the paint. If they want to play man, in that first game, Cat was beating Wemby so bad that at points in the game they went to the zone. But if I'm the Knicks, I'm running the offense through Cat, top of the key, or three-point line. I'm giving the ball to Cat in one-on-one, him against Wemby, and he beating Wemby every time. Okay, see, Donald said no thumbs down. Okay. Even a team that beat y'all, that's who you rooting for. That's how much you don't like the Knicks. Good Lord, man. Good Lord. Shout out to my man Rev in the building. He said, OKC said, I'm good, though. He said, I'm good. I'm glad you're good, man. Oh, he said, okay, here we go. He says, I don't care who win, really. Never rooting for nobody but the Thunder. Listen, I hear you. I understand. You got one last year, though. You got your one last year. Let's go Knicks. Let's go Knicks. My man JJ the King in the building. He said, OKC Donald rooting for the Knicks. He said, no, man. He not. He said he not. He said he is not. Heavy bass in the building. My man Rev in the building. Deb says, some tough-looking nuns rooting for the Spurs. Yeah, I saw they brought the nuns out. And I didn't catch a lot of regular season Spurs games, so I don't know if the nuns at every game. I remember the nuns, though, because I've seen enough Spurs championship that I remember the nuns. But yeah, I saw the nuns out there. Didn't matter. They got to check in with God because it looked like God might be a Knicks fan this week. No Mets, no Nets, no Jets in the building. Said the refs are trying to make it. Yeah, the Spurs. Yo, man, listen, man, it's crazy to me. We understand that the face of the next face of the NBA is probably Wemby. We understand that. But it's just not that time yet. I can't see it. Maybe I got rose-colored glasses on. Maybe I'm a bit biased, which I am. But it just and it's corny when you say, oh, it just feels different. I've been saying that about the Giants forever too. But to see these guys battle, to see them take the best punches from the Spurs and they still win. After that first game, Castle was like, we were the better team. We didn't play well. And this, that, and the third. Like, if you think you didn't play well, what about the Knicks in that first game? They didn't play well at all the first game, and they still won. Ended up winning by 10, but it was a closer game than that. But if you didn't think you guys played, you thought the Knicks played well, and then yesterday, tough fight. They were up by 10. Knicks fought back. Jalen stepped up when he needed to step up again in the fourth quarter. And yeah, MVP, right? That's my MVP. What's going on, everybody? Shout out to everybody. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. It'll let the algorithm know we in the building. And then the algorithm will let other Giants fans know that we are absolutely in the building. My man Stacy said Cat is low-key MVP. He should be the MVP of the finals, but you're not going to get it. It's because at the end of the day, when the lights were the brightest in the pressure times, we saw Jalen Brunson step up. But we already know he was cold a little bit. First two games, he hit his first shot, then went cold a little bit. But first game, he dealing with the knee injury. Thought he was going to be out. Then as soon as he came back, rolled the ankle, thought he was going to be out. Fought through all that. Played the whole second game. If these Knicks are shooting well, if Bridges can play like he played, like Bridges was hot yesterday. He wasn't missing a damn thing. And I like when I see that Bridges. I like a pissed off Bridges. The only time he really played like that is when he's pissed off. And the way that what's his name? Champagnie, Vassell, Castle, Harper off the bench for the Spurs. The way those dudes talk trash. I need a pissed off Bridges every time. You saw OG get fed up. He didn't care. He had Wemby in the lane, still dunked on him. It wasn't the nicest of dunks or the cleanest of dunks, but he still dunked on him. Had him pinned. They playing smart ball. But if that jumper is falling for the Knicks, I don't think the Spurs got a chance, man. I don't think they got a chance. Even with Champagnie, hitting. Champagne was hot for a while too, but and also I hate his last name. Like Champagne is a cool name. Champagne. Shout out to the New York native though. I believe he's from New York. I think he's from New York. I think they said he's from New York. But yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. But that's my Knicks talk. Knicks and 4 is what we're gonna say. We're gonna put that in the atmosphere, and we're gonna let those blessings come down for sure. Orange and blue skies. Let's go Knicks. Let's go Knicks. Let's see what everybody doing. Oh, I got family in the building. What's going on, family? How you doing? How we doing? JJ the King says, are we riding? If Hyatt refuses to give up 13, I say yes. You ain't even got to worry about that. You ain't even got to worry about that. As soon as we cut it down to the 53, and we're going to talk about the wide receivers, that number 13 going to be wide open. Is whether or not Odell Beckham wants the number 13. That's the biggest question, because I don't think Hyatt will factor in that decision at all. At all. He said my ears hurt. Orange and blue skies, man. Orange and blue skies for sure. Thunder says Bridges was on point. Yeah. I like a pissed off Bridges, man. For me, in the first game I was yelling who actually wants to shoot the ball, who's going to be aggressive. Nobody wanted to be aggressive. We saw Bridges in the second game be aggressive, and when Brunson is not shooting like we normally see him shoot, somebody else got to step up. Cat's been playing out of his mind so far, to me. And he calmed people down. He showed leadership, and especially in that first game, they had him mic'd up. When things didn't look good for the offense, he said, we just got to play steady defense. The offense will catch up. And guess what? It did. It did. So shout out to Cat, man. Shout out to them boys from Jersey, man. Shout out to Brunson. Shout out to Cat. I think Cat is from Edison. And that's crazy to me, because the people that are from Jersey, we know what Edison is. We know what Edison is. Edison might be a little bit different. I've been going for a long time, so it might be a little bit different than Edison, but I don't think so. Heavy Bass says, I'm still breaking out the 13 for OBJ. Listen, you ain't got nothing to worry about. That number 13 it's going to be available. If he wants it, it's definitely going to be available for sure. I want to see him in that 13 too. A lot of people saying, I'm like my man said, I'm gonna bring out the 13 jersey. I had somebody in my comments, man, was talking about he had hung up his Odell Beckham jersey, and because it's his son, that was one of his son's favorite players. His son passed, and he hasn't taken down that jersey yet. And he said if Odell makes the team this year, he's gonna wear that jersey in honor of his son. So again, to my man, my condolences, for your loss and stuff like that. But yeah, rep that jersey, man. And it's funny too, because remember weeks ago when we talked about it before he was actually brought back to the team, right? And actually, let me go ahead and before we do that, because I don't want to get off track, I want to get some things out of the way first. I see everybody. Shout out to everybody. Cringy in the building said, "What up, Big Dash? I think Dart is going to have a big year coming up. Can't wait for the season to start. I wish I could hit the fast forward button too, man. I really do." He said Edison is in the middle. Yeah. Thunder said he's wearing 3, but I thought Carter took 3. Yeah, when it's the summertime, you can have double numbers. Same thing as Malachi Fields wearing the number 0. We already know that's Burns' number. So, a lot of people don't buy any jerseys yet. Wait till that 53. Wait till they cut down, and then you can start ordering jerseys. But I wouldn't order any jerseys right now, because it's going to be a couple people that are going to be changing numbers. You don't know if Reese is going to keep that number. Malachi Fields definitely can't keep 0. Odell Beckham most likely gets 13. You just don't know. A lot of people are going to get cut. A lot of numbers are going to become available. And yeah, it is what it is. Vaporizer in the building. What's going on? He said, yo, what's up, Dash? I got to say, I can't wait for the season to start. Wife is a Cowboys fan, and you already know how it is. Giants about to smack everybody. Let's effing go. I got to, since you brought up your wife, right? So me and my wife been married over 20 years, right? The New York Giants, and she's a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. You guys know that Mrs. Dash is a Steelers fan. As long as we've been married, the New York Giants have not beaten the Steelers. She got the bragging rights. I think we played 4 times since we've been married. 4 times. And we haven't beat the Steelers yet since we've been married. So she got the bragging rights in the house. I can't even say too much. Can't even say too much. And then we don't play the Steelers again till I think 2030 or something stupid like that. So yeah, she got the bragging rights for the foreseeable future too. Shout out to my man Mark Thompson in the building. Said howdy, Dad. What's going on, Mark? Man, how you doing over there, man? How's the weather out there in Barbados? I know you're watching the sun go down. Actually, the sun's been down for you, actually. So, out there on the water and enjoying that beautiful breeze. I'm assuming it's nice and peaceful out there. Heavy Bass says, Dash, we on this season. I don't care. I'm bringing out all the gear, even breaking out the old school Tuma Super Bowl 42 jersey. Listen. And it's funny too, because my wife has a nice collection of Steeler jerseys, right? And she says, why don't you ever get, a Giants jersey? And I told her I stopped buying jerseys after Tiki Barber back in 2001, 2002, 2001, 2000, whatever. But 2002, I think it was 2002. I might have to get a jersey this year, but if I'm getting a jersey, it's a retired player. I can't buy any active player jerseys. I can't do it. So for me, the number one thing on my list is probably Carl Banks. I know everybody say LT, but Carl Banks is my favorite Giant, 100%. 100%. JJ the King says, when the last time we beat the Steelers, they have on. No, you tell me the last time we beat the Steelers. Like I said, I've been married over 20 years, and we haven't beat the Steelers in 20 years. I think we played 4 times. We have not beat them. We can thank Darius Slayton, for a big drop that probably, played a role in it too. But it's been a long time. I don't know the last time. Somebody can Google that for me. When was the last time the Giants beat the Steelers? I don't know. Matter of fact, I should have Mrs. Dash look that up because she probably takes some pride in that. Actually, she wouldn't, because that'd be the last time we beat them. But it is what it is. But let's get to these talking points, man. Let me minimize my screen and get into these talking points. For real. Luann said Eli beat the Steelers. When? 2004, 2005, 2014. There you go. See, I'm slipping. 2014. Is that right? Look at me. I'm giving all this credit to the Steelers. Meanwhile, we beat them 12 years ago. Still a long ass time, man. So, he said, if you said I'm not going to be at week 1. I'm not going to the home opener. I apologize. I'm not going to the home opener. Shout out to Milk Duds. Not going to the home opener. Cringy Grinchy says, bro, my next jersey, I want to get signed red Eli Manning jersey and get it framed for my basement. I hear you. You got a man cave, I'm assuming, right? That's what's up. Shout out to all the Giant fans out there that got man caves. Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to y'all. I'm slowly trying to build something. I can't call it a cave. It's more like a what do you want to call this? I don't know what you can call this. It's not a cave though. Small cave. I mean, I got the TV in it and all the other stuff, but I can't call it. You can fit about 4 people in here. That's about it. So I got a Giants room. I got a giant room, man. That's about it. All right, so I do want to get into some talking points, man. We are already almost a half an hour in. I have not really talked about the Giants yet, but I want to talk about the kicking competition, get it out the way. So the New York Giants waived Jason Sanders. They waived Jason Sanders. He got picked up by the Jets, I believe, the next day. So the kicking competition right now is between Better Call Ben Sauls and the undrafted free agent out of Michigan, Dominic Zaveda. And we got a little bit of an update in the last practice when the beat writers were in the building. Ben Sauls was struggling. He went, I believe he went 6 for 12. And then Dominic Zaveda knocked down all 13 of his kicks. They all kicked from the same distances. And Dominic Zaveda, the man with the cannon leg, Pauls, from Michigan, pretty much in my opinion, and then a lot of people's opinion, is leading in that competition. Now I'm a big Ben Sauls fan. I thought he did a great job last year, end of the season, when he finally got his number called, made all of his kicks. But you can't be struggling, man. I don't know. I'm not in Jersey, so I don't know if it was windy this past week in Jersey. Could have been, could have not been. It looked like the sun was out though. But outside of that, man, the kicking competition now has gone from 3 kickers to 2. Still better options than what we had before as far as healthy. I hate to talk bad about Graham Gano, but your best ability is your availability, and we already know what happens with that. But I do like this competition between Zaveda and Ben Sauls, man. Ben Sauls for sure. Yeah, I'm still rooting for Sauls too, man. But if he's getting beat out by Zaveda, then it is what it is. I watched the highlights of Zaveda, and the man can kick. He can absolutely kick, and if he's doing it in practice, he's doing out there in the wind, then fantastic, man. May the best kicker make it, and then I guess whoever doesn't make it probably going to be on a practice squad. I don't think we're going to have those situations like we've had in the past where the Giants don't have a kicker on the field on game day, which is ridiculous. Ridiculous team management, ridiculous game management, roster management. But I don't think we got to worry about that anymore. Anymore. Thunder says, I have a mess load of jerseys. He says, retired, current, it doesn't matter. The ones who leave, I destroy. I did save a white OBJ one, though. At least you knew. You knew in your heart of hearts that there's a chance that he might be back. Don't you put that hoodoo on me, OKC. He said, Evan Neal going to be the starting left guard come week 1. You see all the way at the bottom of the list of topics right there. We're going to do a full offensive line roster review. Shout out to people that watched the video that I put out for the roster review when I did the offensive line. So that video is out there for anybody that wants to go see it or watch it if you haven't watched it already. But we're going to do a review of the offensive line, after we get through all of these topics, man. So the biggest news of the week, the New York Giants signed 3 veteran wide receivers. Of course, Gunnar Olszewski goes down, torn Achilles, gone. The New York Giants had a tryout, brought in 4 wide receivers. 3 of those guys got deals. The 3 guys that got signed, of course, Odell Beckham Jr., the return, the chosen one, right? And then you got Juju Smith-Schuster, who is a solid veteran, familiar with Matt Nagy and that offense from Kansas City. And then you also have Braxton Berrios, more recently from the Texans, and he is 100% a Gunnar Olszewski replacement. So let's talk about some things, right? My man Simpson said, negative on Neal making the team. I don't think so either, man. It's a long shot. Some people got to go down, and Neal would have to have a fantastic summer in order for that to happen. But it is what it is. Real G says, low key, watch Juju. Yeah, so we're gonna talk about it, man. We're gonna talk about it, man. So with those 3 guys that signed, Odell Beckham, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Braxton Berrios, all these guys got vet minimum deals. All these guys with no guaranteed money. Even OBJ, no guaranteed money. So what does that say to people? These guys are not guaranteed to make the squad. And when you look at the wide receiver room as a whole, and thanks to the gym that John Harbaugh left us with during the comment section at the presser, saying that, we have room for Malik Neighbors and 4 to 5 other wide receivers. That tells me that the total number of wide receivers that the Giants are going to hold is either going to be 5 or 6, given, Harbaugh's math. And to me, it just makes sense to keep 6. So we can sit here and have debates all summer about who's going to make this 53 as a wide receiver. But I think Juju, Odell Beckham, and Braxton Berrios have real chances of making the 53. So let me know what you guys think, man. As far as these new signings, when you look at what John Harbaugh said, he talked about Juju Smith-Schuster. I'm just gonna say Juju. When he talked about Juju, he said he had 2 strong practices. We saw some highlight clips of him, gaining some chemistry or getting some chemistry with Jackson Dart. Cool. Obviously, the news for Odell Beckham, he ended up making a one-handed catch. People want to post all crazy about that, man. But I do want to talk about Odell Beckham, right? So, expectations for Odell Beckham, right? I'm not expecting a whole lot. I'm not expecting a whole lot from Odell Beckham. If he ends up, contributing and like really contributing and getting starting level snaps, then fantastic. But I'm not expecting him to possibly be, comeback player of the year. If it happens, cool. That'd be fantastic. That makes the story even better. But I like what he brings to the room. I like what Juju Smith-Schuster brings to the room. And I like what Braxton Berrios brings to the room too, because he brings competition at every level. For every wide receiver spot, you got guys that play outside like Odell. You got guys that can play the slot like Juju, and you got guys that are special teams guys, returners, and also play the slot, and Braxton Berrios. So guess what? Guys like Darnell Mooney, guys like Calvin Austin, they're going to fight a little bit harder. They're absolutely going to fight a little bit harder throughout this camp. It's going to be a real competition in the wide receiver room. And the way that Harbaugh is saying things is that the best players are going to make the 53. None of these guys are making money when you think about it. The only wide receiver making real money outside of Malik Neighbors, of course, is Slayton. Everybody else that we signed got 1 year, almost vet minimum deals. And for the most part, some of them got incentives and stuff like that, but no guaranteed money. So this is going to be a hard-fought, action-packed training camp. No days off, man. No days off. So for me, I'm sitting back like I can't wait to see the reports. I don't know what beat writers are going to go all the way to West Virginia. I'm assuming everybody is, all of the big beat writers, I should say. But I'm sitting here like I need everything. Does anybody know if they're actually inviting fans to the training camps, man? Obviously they didn't release the dates yet. You can kind of figure it out on the calendar. But who's going all the way to West Virginia to watch these guys practice in the summer, in the humidity, in the mountains? What's that, Appalachia? What? I don't know. Coach Ward says, nah, you can let Slayton go right now. It's just too much money. It's too much money right now. You can't just cut him, man. You got to hope that, and we have seen some injuries so far around the league. Some players have been going down. Some wide receivers have been going down. Maybe there's some trade interest for him. That's what you got to hope for. But right now, I think Slayton mixing the team just off the money alone. As bad as we want to say it. And also, man, every time we ready to kick Slayton out the door, he does just enough that people will pause a little bit and say, yeah, you know what? Maybe he can be a wide receiver for, but not as a wide receiver too, man. I think those days are over, man. I think with what they brought in free agency wise and as far as rookies, and then all the other guys, that Slayton being wide receiver too, I think that's going to be out the window. It's going to be out the window, man. Jared says, I want to see what Odell looks like in the preseason. What's crazy though too, man? Because we say we want to see what he looks like in the preseason. Depending on when they put him in the game and who he's playing against. Imagine Odell Beckham out there playing against another team's third string or something like that because they're not playing. He gonna cook. Odell gonna cook. You know what's gonna happen? About 50% of us gonna jump out the window thinking Odell is the same Odell from the old days, right? Because they listen. Be careful. Like the training camp preseason, it's going to be a bunch of nobodies trying to guard Odell. He's going to cook them, period. I just need him to stay healthy at the end of the day. Is it the MBSP 33 says wide receivers are Neighbors, Fields, Austin, Odell, Hodgins, and Slayton. Who we missing? We missing Mooney on there. You don't think Mooney going to make the 53? Or did you forget about Mooney? Let me know. I think Mooney makes the 53. I really do. I think Mooney makes a 53. I think maybe you might have forgot about him, but let me know just to be sure. If you left him off the list on purpose or you maybe forgot about him. Shout out to Big Blue Interactive. I was watching it live this morning, and they were talking about the wide receivers and how many wide receivers they think they might keep. And we already know the answer. It's 5 to 6. But when you start breaking down who actually might make the 53, no matter how that thing shakes, man, it's going to be a better wide receiver room or the best wide receiver room that we've seen in a long time. No matter who those 6 guys are. I mean, unless like Bo Collins, Hyatt, Cambry make the 53, which I don't think that's going to happen. But just look at these names and also Mooney that my man MBSP put up here. Yeah. Real G says OBJ is not catching 70 to the house, but the hands and route running is still there. I'm not going to say what Odell Beckham can't do. I'm not going to say what he can't do. But to your point of what he can do as far as hands and route running, yeah, he still got that. He's still savvy. He still can catch. He's still solid in those categories. And when you start to lose your speed and you get a little bit older, we saw with Jerry Rice, if you can still run crisp routes and know how to get separation and be savvy, you can still produce and be productive. So yeah, for me, I really believe Odell Beckham is going to be good because there's not going to be pressure of him being the wide receiver one. Like, I think that's a lot of people's problem, man, the expectation they're putting on OBJ, because everybody that argues against OBJ, they tell you the same thing. He's old. He's not the same OBJ. You know, he only caught 5 passes in 2004. So they're going to tell you a lot of stuff, man. But at the end of the day, I'm not expecting blonde hair OBJ. The blonde locks are gone. I'm not expecting that guy to walk in the building. But I am expecting a savvy veteran that can get open and has sure hands. That's it. That's all I need from OBJ. I don't need the 70-yard slant, man. I don't need that. I'll take it, though. 100%. 100% I'll take it. Again, shout out to the over 100 people in the building. Again, make sure you hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. I appreciate always the love and support. Luann says August 15th, preseason, and it's us an early game. They put the schedule out for the times already. I know they had the dates. They got the times, though. Good time to have the NFL package, too, or the premier package, so you can see all those preseason games. Shout out to J. Jan G-Man with the $1.99 super chat. He says, you the man, Dash, go Giants. Now, you the man, J. Jan. You the man. You the man, man. Shout out to you for hanging out with your Giants family on a Saturday night. You could be anywhere in the place, anywhere on earth, but you're here with me. What Jay-Z say? I know I messed it up. You can be anywhere, but you chose whatever. It's been a long day. A Dad's Life says, I'll be happy if OBJ gets 25 catches for 350 yards. I just want him back and to show these youngins the ropes, but he will have one slant to the house. Going to be fine. Hopefully it's week 1 against the Cowboys. Imagine that. MetLife, week 1, prime time, Sunday Night Football. OBJ takes one to the house. That'd be fantastic. That'd be fire. And then people would go crazy, out of their minds. BB Steph says Slayton basically 30, and he's mentally shot like Ingram. Change the scenery. Listen, he was offered more money to go to Atlanta. I believe that was the team, and he didn't take it, man. He wants to be here, and I always respect players that want to be here for the lows and hopefully here for the turnaround. You know, he didn't jump ship like some other people. You know, I'm not gonna say their name, but he didn't jump ship. So for me, for that point, and also the money, I'm actually rooting for Slayton. I just can't have him be the wide receiver 2. Can't happen. But if he's out there playing, absolutely. I hope he has his best season ever. But we'll see what happens. You'll see what happens. Joe Star, what's going on? He says if the Giants only keep 6 wide receivers for the roster this season, who would be your top picks? I'll give you the whole 6 right now. Let me use my hands. So now, neighbor, like everybody healthy. Neighbors, Slayton, Fields, Mooney, Austin, Odell. That's it. If Neighbor starts on the pup list, then give me Juju Smith-Schuster. Give me that. And the reason why I'm keeping Schuster off, because when you think about what he plays, he's a big slot receiver. You already have, your big slot receiver, versatile guy. Now, Fields might be more of an outside guy, but they might use him on the inside too. But you have Isaiah Likely as your slot receiver too, your big slot. So, but they might keep Schuster too. Schuster might ball out. And who knows? Like I said, these guys are not making a lot of money, so anybody can be cut. If Mooney has a down summer, he might be cut. If Austin has a down summer, he might be cut. But if Austin goes down, you might see somebody like Berrios actually be on the roster, because you still need somebody with some returner experience. And that's the only one with returning experience, really, is Austin, that has some success. Hey. Corky says Bobby Skinner is going to West Virginia. Makes sense. It makes sense. If listen, Bobby Skinner is 6'7", like 350 pounds. Yeah, he's all right up there. He's all right up there. We know about Appalachia, man. It get dark out there. And it's haunted out there. We know about it. We know about it. Guess what? When it's nighttime, close the blinds. That's all I gotta say. Make sure you are in the facility. Don't be out and about in Appalachia at night. We done heard enough stories. BB Steph says Juju probably the best run blocker of the group. I would agree. I would agree with that. And that's important. It's important to have a wide receiver that's willing to block, because we already know Neighbors ain't willing to block. Slayton ain't willing to block. Mooney, not a blocker. Austin, not a blocker. These guys might be willing, but they're not blockers like that. Not like that. Shout out to my man Hooks Rub in the building. What's going on, Hooks? He says Juju already knows the plays from KC. Now that's a good question, man. That's a good question, because how much of that Kansas City offense is Matt Nagy actually bringing with him as far as the terminology? We know that was Andy Reid's terminology. We don't know what Nagy's terminology is, altogether. We already know he comes from that Andy Reid tree. When he went to Chicago, his offense looked different from what Andy Reid was doing. So now you have a mixture of his own philosophy, some of the stuff he got from Kansas City, and now we know that John Harbaugh wants to run the ball too. And with John Harbaugh wanting to run the ball, be one of those tough running teams, I'm not sure what you expect from Matt Nagy. Not sure. But yeah, as far as terminology, I do think his relationship with Matt Nagy, I'm talking about Juju, it helped, and that's why he's on the roster. But also, he's still got something left in the tank. I do believe that, especially in the role that he's going to play. Again, a lot of people look at these players and say they're washed. They're not playing in a role that they played in before. Like Juju has been a wide receiver 2, a wide receiver 3 at times. At his peak, he was a wide receiver 2 in Pittsburgh, but nobody's asking him to be a wide receiver 2. Odell Beckham was a wide receiver 1, then a wide receiver 2 with the Rams. You know what I mean? Then he was a wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4, with Miami and the Ravens and stuff like that. Nobody's asking him to be a wide receiver 1. And Braxton Berrios has never been anybody's really anything, except for like a special teamer and a guy that comes in a pinch to give you some slot snaps. And that's it. So just think about where these guys are going to be on the depth chart, and hopefully that makes some people feel better about the situation. He said, hey, I thought I might have missed the pause for a second, because I thought you were saying, hey, yo, but you saying, hey, yo. I got you. Fields is a good blocker. Yes, he is. Yes, he's a willing blocker. He's also very physical, 100%. For the people that are Fields fans and you only remember him from Notre Dame, go watch his Virginia tape too. He went to the University of Virginia first. If we get that version of Malachi Fields, even better. Even better than what he put on tape in Notre Dame, if you look at him, what he did in Virginia. Heavy Bass says, I saw Matt Nagy trying to get Dart's stance and footwork right when dropping back. Listen, if we're going to talk about any flaws when it comes to Jackson Dart, and it's not like there's not a ton of flaws with Jackson Dart, but he does have some mechanics and some footwork things that he needs to clean up. So yes, they're working on his stance, they're working on his footwork, and rightfully so. There were so many times where he threw off the back foot. There were sometimes he threw some passes where he was in the air, both feet in the air. Remember that play. But if he can get steady footwork and make sure his legs are underneath him, a lot of those passes that were either short or sailed on him, they're going to be on point and more accurate. So I'm glad that they're working on his footwork and his stance. Absolutely, 100%. I saw, what was it? He was it Phil Simms? He had did like a what did he do? He did like a film session with Phil Simms, and Phil Simms was talking about how he just did like a shuffle, like instead of doing like standard quarterback drop back, he would just shuffle backwards. And he said when he did it like that, he kept his eyes on the field the entire time, and it just worked out for him. And Jackson Dart was pretty much saying like, yeah, I can adapt some of that. And Nagy probably was like, no, you're not Phil Simms. You ain't got that kind of cachet yet. Now you might end up being better than Phil Simms, but right now you're not Phil Simms. Let's stick to the script and stick to this footwork and each mechanics. But yeah, it is what it is. Luann says it's going to be fun to watch Likely and Theo on the field together. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of 12 personnel, We're gonna see some 22 personnel. I can't wait to see the first red zone possession, goal line possession, and you see a two running back backfield or two back backfield, and it's Pancake Pat and Scatterable coming at you. Pause. I can't wait to see that. The 22 personnel in on the goal line. I can't wait to see that. The first time Pat Ricard does his little play action where he sneaks out into the flat and gets that touchdown pass, I'm gonna be cheering. And remember where you heard it first. I pointed out that highlight, what was it, a couple weeks ago. I can't wait. I can't wait for that play to work the first time we see it. Yep. Shout out to Paul in the building. Says Odell knows how to run a 9-yard route in a 3 on 3rd and 8. Yeah, he does. Yeah, pass the sticks, right? How many times we on 3rd down and we threw short of the sticks, especially in those Daniel Jones years? What we talking about? What we talking about? LT says Dart gonna be amazing this season. I think so too, man. Some people talk about the sophomore slump. For me, if you keep Dart healthy and upright, he's a playmaker, man. He's an absolute playmaker. And now you figure with all this other stuff that was happening, people want to say he got a target on his back and all that stuff. I think he can handle the pressure. No problem. He said, "Oh yeah, Pancake Pat." That's a fact. Joe Star says, if everyone stays healthy and the synergy clicks, I can see this roster winning the division. Let's go New York Giants. Winning the division. I love it, man. Obviously with our signings this week, we also saw what's his name? AJ Brown. AJ Brown is gone from the Eagles. And then I also saw where what's his name? Mekhi Lemon is having hamstring issues already. And we're familiar with rookie wide receivers having hamstring issues. Like Odell, those things linger, man. So listen, anything bad that happens to the Philadelphia Eagles puts a smile on my face. I know I shouldn't be saying things like that. I might be jinxing my own team, but I can't sit here and lie to y'all. I don't like the Eagles. I don't. Luann says, let Banks return kicks. I think that's already something that's what it is. That's what it is. I saw a lot of people bringing up the comment that in OTAs, Banks had a good pass breakup against Odell Beckham. Fantastic. I'm loving it. If you can get Banks to play better, I'm with it. But he is going to be that kick returner. That's going to be his first role. Because at the end of the day, a lot of guys in the secondary are making plays, in shorts. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully he can keep it up. New York State of Mind. What's going on? He says the doctors need to tell him he needs to come in for further evaluation and keep him a couple of days. Who are we talking about? Talking about Malik? Who are you talking about? They need to keep him. They need to hold him against his will is what you're saying? I don't need Malik playing dodgeball or softball. Just like I don't need Scatterable doing backflips. We can save all that. I don't need to see none of that. So that goes to my next point. Malik Neighbors on the pup, right? I've come to the conclusion, you guys know it. I said that I don't expect Malik Neighbors back until week 5. That's my time slot for Malik Neighbors. That's where I have him making his return this week 5. I think a lot of people are moving towards that. We saw that mainstream media has caught on too. We see them putting out the news too, but you already know where you heard it first. And I'm not saying that I said it first, but the Giants content community as a whole has been telling people, don't expect Malik Neighbors back week 1, and I'm not. But I do expect if he doesn't show any progress by the time that training camp starts, as far as I don't expect him to be practicing during training camp or none of that. I expect him to be on the PUP list. And if you put him on the PUP list, that means possibly Juju Smith-Schuster makes his team, in my opinion. And then what happens after that, because there's going to be no holds bars for the wide receiver room. And whoever is the least producing wide receiver in the room after the first 4 weeks is going to be the guy that's gone, unless they take, unless they add Malik and they take from a different positional group. But I do believe Malik Neighbors starts the year on the PUP. Let me know in the comment section, man. Do you guys believe Malik Neighbors has a chance of making it week 1? Or is he going to end up on the PUP list? Let me know. Let me know. Let me get through some of these comments while you guys put in your opinions. New York State of Mind says preferably 2 weeks. And while he's there, give him some night juice. So you just want to kidnap the man. I hear you. Hold him against his will. Alex Serrano. What's going on, Alex? He says we should have traded Abdul and Malik for Myles Garrett. I don't know how I feel about that, man. First of all, we don't run a 4-3 defense. So, I mean, it doesn't quite fit what Myles Garrett does. But Myles Garrett is Myles Garrett. He can shine anywhere. But giving up Abdul, and look what the Rams only gave up. Verse, and then a second rounder, and a third round. Well, first round, a second rounder, and a third rounder. You're not giving up Abdul and Malik for Myles Garrett. I'm sorry. Not when you already got Brian Burns and Abdul and Reese. Nah, I'm not doing that, man. I might be crazy too. But just thinking about it right now, I don't know if I'm going to do that. I don't know. Jim says, please, Cat, no more backflips. I'm telling you, I don't need to see him doing no. I don't even care if he's 100% healthy. He should pick a new touchdown celebration. I don't like when guys flip in the end zone. I never did. The backflips, the falling into the end zone, it's just something, a freak injury can happen. I'm not doing it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. Real G says Braxton won't make the team. Too much returners, Banks and Austin. Well, the thing about Banks is only a kick returner. He doesn't return punts. Not saying that he couldn't do it, but he doesn't. Austin returns punts. You haven't really seen him return kicks. So Braxton still has value. It's just that it's going to be hard for him to beat out Austin, in my opinion. I think Austin gives you more as a wide receiver than Braxton does. And Braxton's no slouch. He's a returner, but I don't think he's better than Calvin Austin at all. I don't. And if you're asking me to pick between the two, I'm taking Calvin Austin 10 times out of 10. D says pup list. I hear you. Dad's Life says I don't even want Neighbors back till week 6. I hear you. I'm not. Listen, I need him back healthy. Absolutely. Bully Bill says Leak can't come back till week 7 if you're on the PUP. I believe that's IR. I believe when you're on the PUP list, they can bring you back whenever they feel like it. When you're on IR, IR used to be half the season, and now I believe IR is a mandatory 4 weeks. So if they put him on the PUP list, I don't know if that's absolutely true. If he got to wait 7 weeks if he's on the PUP list, I don't think so. Where we at? Paul says we might not see Malik until 27. That's possible too, man. I would hate that, but that's absolutely possible too. We might not see the Malik Neighbors that we want to see until 2027. So he might come back in 2026, but he might not even look like Malik until 2027. We got to be ready and prepared for that too. We do. He said Alex is a troll. What Alex say, man? Alex still trolling? Oh, we're talking about that trade. Nah, man. Alex, he meant it. Rev says Verse didn't like being traded. Yeah, he wasn't happy about it. He had one request when they notified him that he was going to be traded. He wanted to be the one to announce it to the team. He wanted to be able to tell those guys, man. Listen, man, it's rough, man. It's rough being a player, a value player. Verse is one of those guys that's ascending. He's going to be one of the top defenders in the league. If he's not already, he's going to be one of those top guys. And now he goes from a Super Bowl contender to the Browns. I'd be mad too if I went to the Browns. Now, Myles Garrett got something else to be mad about, because that contract he had in Cleveland versus how much he got to pay in taxes in California is absurd. Uncle Sam gonna eat that check up, man. But I think he's worried about the championship at the end of the day, because we know that he wants to win, and LA is definitely a spot for him to win. And we got LA week 2. I'm just hoping that Aaron Donald stays retired. I'm not trying to see week 2 and look at Aaron Donald and Myles Garrett and trying to take out Jackson Dart. I don't want to see that. Myles Garrett is enough to worry about. You talk about Aaron Donald, but Aaron Donald, takes some time to get in football shape, but he's in fantastic shape right now if you look at him. Luann says, I like Braxton. He's a decent wide receiver. Now he is. He's decent. He is absolutely a Gunner replacement. Everything that Gunner is, that's what Braxton is. He just a little. Actually, I don't know who's younger out of the two, but they're interchangeable. They're the same person to me. Braxton Berrios, Gunnar Olszewski, same person. Braxton Berrios might be even a little bit better if we're going to be honest. If we're going to be really, really honest. But we like Gunnar because Gunnar is a giant. He was ours already for a couple of years. We're familiar with him. But Braxton Berrios, if he ain't right there with Gunnar Olszewski, he not too far behind him. That's 100%. What you hear from Tiki on the fan? Let me know what you talking about. Something that I commented on. Luann says, Dash, new coach, Odell back. Oh, so Dash, new coach and Odell back. That stadium will be rocking. I feel sorry for Dak, man. Listen, I can't wait, man. I can't wait. I'm just praying for a healthy summer. For everybody, for all the teams. I don't like injured football players. I like to see, the best product on the field. So I'm not wishing for any injuries on any team. But I'm definitely hoping that the New York Giants stay healthy as much as possible and be ready for week 1. And Harbaugh already told you if he's going to have this team prepared. And I can't wait to see what a prepared New York Giants team looks like, because we have not seen a fully prepared New York Giants team with this much talent on the roster in a long time. Hopefully the coaching staff does what it's supposed to do, because there is some talent on the New York Giants. And I think a lot of people outside of the fan base are going to realize just how much talent the Giants really do have. And if we can get this thing together, we can definitely push for the division. Like right away. Not saying we're going to win the division right away, but we damn sure are going to be competitors in the division. Giants are going to be a tough out for sure. Joe Star says, do you think when Neighbors is healthy enough to play, they'll put him in specialty? No, absolutely not. You're not wasting any of Malik Neighbors snaps on special teams. Absolutely not. Or just to watch. Yeah. No. When he's ready to come back, Malik didn't play special teams to begin with. They're not going to ease him on the field with special teams. He's either going to be ready to play or he's not ready to play. And it's going to be simple and plain. I think there's enough guys. And remember, we haven't seen Malik in a long time. Jackson Dart had one half of play with Malik. So for me, I don't know if Jackson Dart even knows how to miss Malik Neighbors, because he really hasn't had him. But he has to deal with all of these new wide receivers in the room too, because outside of Malik Neighbors and his injury and Slayton, everybody else, not named Hyatt, which I don't think he's going to make the 50. It's a lot of new faces in that wide receiver room. You got to build a lot more chemistry with these guys. So, yeah. Dirt Dog. when his Neighbors contract up, was it? He got drafted in 25, so you got 25, 26, 27, 28. And then they're going to pick up the 5th-year option. So he won't be a free agent until like 2030. Whenever it is, he's leaving for DC. If that's the case, hopefully we draft his replacement. I know a lot of people keep saying that same thing about Malik wanting to go to DC, wanting to play with Jaden Daniels. That was his college quarterback. If the New York Giants are clicking, playing well, and he's doing numbers, he ain't going to want to go nowhere. Unless we don't pay him. That's it. And if we decide not to pay Malik, you better have his replacement in the building. I can't wait to see what the next couple of draft classes look like as far as preparing and being proactive instead of reactive. That's what I want to see from the New York Giants. And we're going to talk about these up and coming drafts in a bit when we talk about the offensive line as a roster. As a room positional group. Real G says CC and Arvell at Yankee Stadium. I like that. I saw them. They threw out the pitch. I saw that. Reese looked like he was a little bit nervous out there throwing that pitch out. But yeah, it was good to see those guys, off of the field, still having that camaraderie and stuff like that, man. It's what's up. Coach Ward says physically Malik might be on the team, but mentally he got to get over the fear of every little. That's true. He got to be able to not think about his knee. And once he's not thinking about his knee, that's when you get the Malik Neighbors back at 100%. And that's probably what's going to take the longest. He has to feel comfortable on that knee. Now, just think about this mentally. I'm not going to call it a real setback, even though a lot of people believe it was a setback, him getting that second surgery, even though it's pretty normal. But him dealing with stiffness in the knee, looking the way that he's looking right now, hobbling around a bit, knowing what he got to be right mentally, man. And I don't know if right physically equals to him being right mentally. So we don't know what Malik Neighbors is going to look like and how long it's going to take him to be the Malik Neighbors that we saw his rookie year. 100%. And shout out to my man, Coach Ward. I see you in the profile pic. I know that's a Giants game. What Giants game is that? Let me know. The last game I went to for the Giants was in 2023. And that's funny. It was the Giants versus the 49ers. That's the last live game that I've been to. So I'm curious. KC Smooth says, ain't trying to see my quarterback get tag team. Pause. Yeah, gotta pause that. If I missed that one, is that what I said? Then I definitely gotta pause that. Paul says Uncle Sam is one thing for Gavin Newsom. Well, he is paycheck alive. Listen, man, them taxes in California, them state taxes, because Uncle Sam will get his regardless of what state you live in. But whatever state you live, like California, them taxes, that's a different kind of taxes, man. I saw one breakdown. I don't know if it's true. They talking like almost $40 million in taxes over the contract. That's crazy to me. And he just got the extension. So I think right now he got a $200 million contract. And you're talking $40 to $70 million of his entire contract in taxes. Good Lord, man. Tell me where that's fair. I don't know. Shout out to my man Michael in the building. What's going on? Alex says, bro, we do this every year. I had the same argument about Kayvon, and Giants fans would argue with me that he's going to be the next LT. When you guys talk like that, you sound like Dallas Cowboy fans. I don't know. Well, I will say this. Anybody that told you that anybody was going to be any kind of LT, you're absolutely right. They sound crazy. I'm not putting LT on anybody. Pause. We saw Micah Parsons from the outside looking in, and I still wouldn't say, he was Lawrence Taylor. You could talk about Myles Garrett. You could anybody. I'm not putting them in the same boat as Lawrence Taylor ever. Speaking of LT, that's my other guy over here. Shout out to LT. I got an Odell and I got an LT. That's it. But yeah, anybody that told you the Kayvon was going to be the next LT was sniffing glue. That's funny. He says not all white guys look the same. I ain't say that at all. I said Bobby Skinner is 6'7", 350 pounds. I said he's safe almost anywhere he goes. That's what I'm saying. I get what you say about Appalachia though. Listen, we seen documentaries, man. But don't put them words in my mouth. I ain't say that. Pause. C. Mully says, what up, Dash? It's been a while. OBJ is more than nostalgia. He's just needed to heal without rushing to play. Now, that's another observation that Harbaugh made. He said that Odell looks healthier than he did in Baltimore. And when you go back and look at some of those Baltimore highlights, because I haven't watched tape from Odell when he was in Baltimore, you saw on some of the highlights he still had that extra gear. He's still not catching them from behind. Pause. And and if we can even get that version, but if Harbaugh is saying he's even healthier than what he was in Baltimore, I can't wait to see what Odell Beckham really is. Like we try to, and I'm doing it too. I'm trying to taper some of my excitement, but we don't know what to expect from OBJ, to be honest. And if Jackson Dart can make Gunnar Olszewski a 100-yard receiver, then what we talking about, really? What we talking about? Like, so if Odell Beckham does it, not saying he can do it for 17 games, but if Odell Beckham comes out and he has and he has a 100-yard game. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm surprised. No, absolutely not. Pardon my charge my phone. So yeah, it's about expectation. I do believe it's going to be more than nostalgia. And a point that I wanted to make, like maybe like 45 minutes ago now, a lot of people, right, that were against signing Odell, when they saw him in the building, when they saw him back in blue, you saw a lot of people change their tones. I remember being pissed off. I was watching the stream. It was New York Giants Rush. Shout out to Rush. Shout out to those guys. And they had the beat writer, Ryan Dunleavy. And everything he said was, it was character issues. Odell Beckham coming off of injuries. It's going to be a circus, this, that, and the third. And what? They put him out there on the podium. And everybody's sitting here talking about, like, wow, he sounds so much different. He sounds so mature. That's not the same guy. Like, come on, man. What the guy did when he was 23 versus being 33, come on. What we talking about, man? Injuries can humble you. Life choices and changes can humble you. And when I saw Odell Beckham, I'm like, yeah, now it can all go sideways once the season starts. But right now, he seems like a guy that has learned from his mistakes and has learned from being away from the game. And he really has, his eyes on the prize. I guess we could say that. He's focused. Shout out to my man Hirsch in the building. What's going on, Hirsch? How we doing, man? We're going to get to this offensive line, man. I see my man Real G talking about the offensive line. We're going to talk about the offensive line. That's going to be one of the next points. BB Steph says Jax missed Leak on the throw. Leak got injured. That ball sailed. That's what happened. And real time, when you look at it, and the crazy thing about that play, it was a free play. A lot of people forget that was a free play. Was it offsides? I think it was offsides on the defense, and they lobbed it up. That ball was in the air forever. Malik had to make an adjustment, and it happened. Now I will say this: we've seen people make acrobatic catches all the time, and we don't say, "Oh wow, we lucky he didn't tear his ACL on that play, making that adjustment." No, what happened to Malik was a freak injury. It was a combination of things. It was a combination of a ball. It was a bad ball. Let's be honest. That ball was bad. And it was a free play. I hated it. But it didn't even seem like he did that much. He slowed down and jumped back to catch the ball, and his knee popped. Freak accident. I'm not going to just blame it on Dart. It was a bad throw, though. We're going to be honest. We saw it. Everybody saw it. Bad throw. On a free play. It sucks. And then he was gone. And I remember at that point in time, like, oh, man. What happened after that, though? Dart ain't missed a damn beat. When beat the Chargers without Malik. And the rest is history. And for the rookie season of Dart. What's going on? Shout out to my man Sleazy in the building. What's going on, man? Heavy Bass says, I got heavy bass, so who needed? Listen, man, you can't be saying stuff like that. Can't be saying stuff like that, man. Them folks watching. One NYG man, what's going on? He says, if it comes down to OBJ or Juju, who you keeping? If everything's the same, give me Odell Beckham. And no debating. No debating. They play two different styles of wide receiver. Give me the X. Give me Odell. I got Malachi Fields that's a bigger body. I got Isaiah Likely, bigger body. If I'm picked between those two and everything's the same and they have similar camps and all this other stuff, give me OBJ. Now, if he gets outplayed by Juju and it's clear, the contracts already let you know that the best person gonna make the team. But if you're asking me right now, today, on June 6th, I'm taking OBJ over Juju 100%, 10 times out of 10. For real. LV Short, what's going on? He said they finally coming to Houston. I'm definitely pulling up, even though we ain't doing it. What you mean? What you mean? We can't beat Houston? We can't beat Houston, that's what you're saying? That defense is tough as hell. But I ain't scared of their quarterback at all. We saw what he did last time he was on the field. He laid an egg. That whole playoffs, he was laying eggs. That defense carried that man through the playoffs. He's sold, man. I'm not worried about him. And I was a fan of him too coming out of college. I remember when they beat Georgia, I was like, yeah, that's what sold me on him. Because he did something. He had a fantastic rookie year. Followed up with a pretty decent sophomore. And then, yeah, last year was solid. Then he didn't show up in the playoffs, man, when the team needed him the most. It should have been the Texans should have beat the Patriots. It should have been the Texans and freaking Seattle playing in the Super Bowl. As bad as those Patriots were. Crazy. Because that's another quarterback that laid an egg. Shout out to my man Dealer in the building. What's going on? What's going on? How we doing, man? I saw you short. Dealer has no filter. He tells you exactly what's on his mind, exactly how he feels unapologetically. And that's why I love the guy. Milk Does says Mint Gunner and Barrios, you said that they the same guy. Oh, yeah. To me, they the same person. Same person. We just like Gunner more because he's been here the longest. That's it. A special teams, a returner who can give you some slot snaps in a pinch. The same damn guy. They the same guy. Absolutely the same guy. Shout out to my man Ant in the building. What's going on? My man Greg T. What's going on, man? How you doing? He said it's fair if they invested it. Hold on. It's fair. If they invested, it's right. But that money will go to Newsom and his cronies' pockets because cost of living is high as F in California. The price, what the guy say, man? The price is too damn high. California's expensive. I lived there for 8-9 years, something like that. It's expensive. California's expensive. Expensive. Ron Bees, what's going on? He says, let's just hope OBJ stays healthy. That's all we can hope for, man. That's all we can hope for. And hopefully. Greg T says 400 to 500 yards, 2 to 3 touchdowns is a success with Odell. If Odell give you 400 yards, he might be here another year. 400 yards? If he give you, that's more than listen. What Slayton give us last year? 5 and some change. What Hyatt give us? Nothing. Yeah, 400, 500 from OBJ. Hell yeah, I'll take it. 100%. Y'all in here wilding in the chat, man. Greg T says Odell lost a step or 2, but he's still very serviceable. He might have lost 3 damn steps from where he was, 4 steps possibly, but he can still run routes and he can still catch. And we'll see if he can still get, that same type of separation. Again, I'm not expecting 1,000 yards from Odell. I'm not expecting 700 yards from Odell. I'm expecting for whenever Jackson Dart decides to throw him the ball for him to catch it. And he might be able to get it to the house. That's it. Now, when it comes to other wide receivers, then I got different expectations for different people. I think Isaiah Likely can be 1,000-yard tight end / big body wide receiver. I think that can happen. I'm not going to put that on him, but I think that can happen. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. Dealer says, I'm going to delve into some games, best wide receivers over the past 20 years and show what they were able to do or able to produce at 33 and 34 years old in my next short. Sounds like you're already setting people up because I already know, Dealer, you play chess, you don't play checkers. I know it. You play chess, you don't play checkers. You're calculated. I can't wait to see the video, though. Vaporizer says, my fault, Fields greater than Austin. Oh, Fields definitely making the squad. Fields, he's a draft pick. They traded up for him. He's making the squad, and I think he's going to have an impact. He does something that a lot of receivers don't do on this team right now. He's the 50-50 ball guy. Just throw it up, he'll go get it. We don't have too many of those guys on this squad right now. So Fields, a lot of people talk about Fields being wide receiver 2 already. We'll see what happens. Pump the brakes a little bit. I hope he is. Imagine if he is. Imagine that. He ends up being a real true wide receiver 2. Now you got Neighbors and you got Malachi Fields and all the rest of these guys. Listen, let's cook. Let's do it. Let's do it. Heavy Bass says, yeah, OBJ can still move. He don't look no different than we have receivers now on the team. Yeah, that's another thing. We're comparing them. Like we can't compare Odell Beckham to Odell Beckham. I'm comparing him to what we have, and then the expectation comes from what he was. That's it. So I would like a simpler way to say it. If he does play well, I'm not going to be surprised. If he doesn't play well, I'm not going to be surprised. And some people say that's cheating, but it's the truth. That's how I feel. But I would much rather have him on the squad than not have him on the squad, given some of the other names on the list. Now, if Odell Beckham is wide receiver 6, let's say we keep 6 wide receivers, this is everybody healthy. That means he's better than Hyatt. He's better than Bo Collins. He's better than Dalen Cambry. He's better than Gibson. Nobody's going to argue against that. It's when you have people that want to put Odell Beckham as the wide receiver 2. Now, if he earns it and gets the snaps of a wide receiver 2, that means he's actually playing well enough, because Harbaugh's just not going to give him anything. And he knows that. Because he even said it at the presser. He said, if I end up getting cut, at least I know I tried. I ain't never heard Odell Beckham talk like that before. OKC Donald says OBJ and Harb says he's still running 21 miles per hour. I'll take that with his hands. Listen, there's no way to prove it. Unless they out there really timing people still. If he's saying he's still running 21 miles per hour, that's pretty damn good for a 33-year-old. I'll say that much. If he's still running 21 miles per hour, that's fantastic. Can he do it consistently? Can he do it for, not just a training session? Can he do that for the entire season? That's the biggest question. That's what we want to see. I do want to get to the offensive line, man, because we got some quiet competitions. We almost at the hour and a half mark too. We know how we do. We run for 2 hours here. Michael says, I will take Odell over Slayton any day, Dash. He says, put Slayton on the shelf is what I mean. Is what I think you meant. Put him on the shelf. Hey. And says, tempered expectations. OBJ, he's a route runner and can catch. Most of all, he provides real leadership. And thank you for pointing that out again. When you look at this wide receiver room, where's the leader? Where's the leader? Like as soon as Odell Beckham steps in the room, he becomes the leader of the wide receivers, no matter what anybody says. We can say, we should be dependent on the wide receiver coach. We should be. No, when it comes to leading by example, as soon as you bring in Odell Beckham, he becomes the de facto leader of the wide receiver room. Even if he doesn't make the team, throughout this time of him being on the team, the summer, training camp, preseason, he is the leader of the wide receiver room. I saw a picture that they took. of the wide receivers at practice, and they're just walking off the field. Who's in the middle of the wide receivers? Odell Beckham. And everybody's looking at him and look like he's talking to all of them on his first day of practice. Even Malik was in sweatpants. And he's sitting there talking to OBJ as they walk off the field. He's the leader, man. I don't care what he does. He can have 100 yards and no touchdowns. As long as that man is on the roster, he's the leader of the wide receiver room. Who on this team can pull Malik Neighbors to the side and say, hey, young man, do it this way. I see how you're doing that. Giving him any kind of pointers. Ain't nobody else on this team able to do that to Malik, except for Odell. Maybe the coach can do it. Bully Bill said OBJ took the whole wide receiver room out to dinner. Hopefully he made Malachi Fields pay for it, since he's the rookie. If I'm OBJ, I'm taking everybody out to dinner, and guess what, Malachi Fields, you picking up the bill. Like what? And I did see that. And look at that. We haven't seen the wide receiver dinner at all. At least one that was, worthy enough to post or to know about. But as soon as we see OBJ, what do we see? The whole damn wide receiver room's out to dinner. It is what it is. Dealer says, ain't no way Odell at nearly 34 years old is better than a better wide receiver than Slayton. Listen, Dealer said that. I didn't say that. He's not as healthy as Slayton. He's not as fast as Slayton. He is a better route runner than Slayton still, I'll say that. Better hands than Slayton, I will say that. But nah, as far as it goes, what have you done for me lately? Slayton has done more than Odell has done the last couple of seasons. But come on, man, we can't be disingenuous either. But you know what's crazy? I know you really believe that too, dealer, and you can back it up, 100%. You can back it up. I know it. I know you believe it. 100%. I know you. I know. He says, "Oh, I believe it." I know you do. I know you do. Alex says, "OBJ like to party. Watch yourselves." Nah, man. Cut it out. We're not gonna do that. That's the same thing Ryan Dunleavy tried to do. He tried to do the same thing. Said it's gonna be a party. It's gonna be a circus. That man been in the building a couple of days, and the world is still spinning. The world is still spinning. And guess what? The more he's here, the less of a story it's going to be. That might be the last time we see Odell Beckham at the podium. Because how many wide receiver 4s, 5s make it to the podium? They really don't. Unless he's having an outstanding training camp. That might be the last time we see him with mics in his face. Pause. That's crazy. I apologize. That might be the last time we see him in the presser before the season starts. Yeah. Anthony says that's why I wanted Odell here. Again, we need mentors in that room, man. I understand the coaches have a job to do, and the players, the positional groups, they need to listen to their positional coaches. But we already know when there's a player, when that dude is in the room, that's who you gravitate to. And there's one of those guys almost in every room. Just think about the linebacker room. It's Tremaine Edmonds. And now you got Arvell Reese and you got Micah McFadden, but everybody just gravitates to Edmonds. The defense, the edge room, you got Brian Burns. If he ain't the leader of the team, he's definitely the leader of the defense. You got that. When you look at the cornerbacks, actually, I don't know who the hell to look at in the cornerback room as an actual leader. I don't know. Javon Holland people seem to gravitate towards Javon Holland. Yeah, you got those almost everywhere on the squad. So that's good, man. We building a real team, not just a collection of guys. We're building a team. Vaporizer says all Slayton does is drop the ball. Dude can't be solid option that Dart can trust, period. There was some big drops, man. It was some big drops last year. I really do believe not every wide receiver can catch 100% of the passes. But if Darius Slayton caught 100% of the passes that actually hit him in the hands that he dropped, Jackson Dart probably has another 300 yards and probably another 3 touchdowns added to his stats. And that's not even me trying to stretch. I'm not being far-fetched. I'm not over-exaggerating. If Darius Slayton held on to all of the balls that hit his hands in 2025, Jackson Dart probably has at least 300 more yards passing and at least 3 more touchdowns. 100%. 100%. I see. I love the back and forth about Slayton versus Odell. Shout out to my man Blake in the building too. I see you, man. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Again, make sure you hit that like button. And again, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do. It does more than you even know. Listen, man, I was trying to get a beat writer on the show tonight, especially before mini camp, so we can ask them some questions. So I'm still working on that. I might have to ask a different beat writer though. I know how some people feel about it wasn't Pat. It wasn't Pat, but maybe I should try to get Pat on the show. Because me and Pat pretty cool. So maybe I'll ask Pat. But I was trying to get somebody else, man. Because a lot of beat writers are out there. They're around the Giants content community too. And I always try to find somebody that not everybody knows as much, but still is a part of the team. So it was a couple beat writers that I wanted to reach out to, man. Couldn't get them on the show tonight, so hopefully maybe I can get them on next week's show. But we'll see what happens with that. Because with minicamp this week coming up, I wanted to get him before the mini camp started, but if I can get him to recap mini camp, so hopefully next week I can get a beat right on the show, and I can ask some questions, and you guys can ask some questions too. Because again, after mini camp is over, we're not going to see any Giants news for about 4 weeks, 5, maybe 6 weeks, as far as any new information. Right before training camp, so we'll see what happens. Re-up says it's going to be Hood's DB room real soon. I do agree with that. I do think that he needs a mentor too, though, because he's young. He's an exciting player. He's feisty. He's talented. He has a couple of turnovers already throughout the OTAs. He even had an interception in rookie minicamp. But who's going to be that mentor in that secondary? I don't know. I don't know what type of player, what type of person Newsome is. I would hope that Poston Debo would be that guy. You really can't trust Tay Banks right now wholeheartedly as far as being an example. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen in that cornerback room. But Hood right now, I do believe in like a year or two, Hood would be the CB1. I think he has that type of talent. But he got to show it on the field, man, during the regular season. We'll see what happens. High hopes for him though, for sure. All right, so I got to move the conversation along. Shout out to everybody, y'all keeping this Odell Beckham conversation going. I want to talk about a quiet competition that I don't know if everybody knows that is happening, but it is happening. It has to do with the offensive line. You see it in the topic section. There's a quiet competition at left guard right now. Well, whether Harbaugh wants to admit it or not, the writing is on the wall when it comes to that left guard spot, and I'll tell you why. I do believe there's a competition between Daniel Faalele and Jon Runyan. Our name, what's going on? How you doing? Isaac said, get Bobby back. I could try to get Bobby on too. I was trying to get a beat writer though. Somebody that was in the building, somebody's at the podium. But nah, me and Bobby got some work to do too, man. For sure. It was a fantastic show when I had him on pre-draft. Had a good time, and he's super cool too, man. We got a pretty good relationship. So I'll definitely have Bobby back on at some point in time. Hopefully, maybe before training camp, since he's gonna be busy. He's gonna be a busy guy, especially if he's going out there to those practices. But Faalele versus Jon Runyan, man. I was talking about it a little bit in the roster review video that I put out, and I was pointing out the fact that Daniel Faalele is the second team left guard. I see my man Ford saying Evan Neal, let's go Evan Neal. I don't know, man. But just think about it. Daniel Faalele, for the most part with Baltimore, has played on the right side, whether it was right tackle, right guard. He, more recently right guard. He was that right side option before we drafted CC. Before we drafted CC, when we had those practices, those activities before the draft, he was on the right side. He was playing right guard. As soon as we drafted CC, now Faalele is on that left side as a left guard. And we already know, and I put out all the stats. We already know the information when it comes to Jon Runyan. Yes, I know that the offensive line was the best that we've seen in a long time. But Jon Runyan, respectfully, is not good. Not good. And the funny thing about Daniel Faalele is not good either. But Harbaugh has a type when it comes to interior offensive linemen. When I talk about the guards, he likes a particular prototype. So now that I'm seeing all these reports that Daniel Faalele is a left guard, and also when I look at Jon Runyan's production, solo production, not as a particular unit, and you see his grades and you see, the allowed pressures and stuff like that happen, I believe it's a competition at the left guard spot, man. Between those two guys. Now, not saying that it's just those two guys, but that's the competition that makes the most sense to me right now. And him moving to the left side when he hasn't normally played on the left side makes me feel that way. Here's a part two of that. How much money is Jon Runyan making? That cap hit is $9 million. If you cut him, you save $9 million. So you can't tell me right now, today, if Jon Runyan struggles, that they don't cut him, keep $9 million and just promote Daniel Faalele to the left guard spot. Not saying that's the best option, because when you look at the guards that we have left, it might be the best option. If you want to throw Evan Neal in there too, he got to earn it. He got to earn it. But Evan Neal's not even getting really like second team snaps. He's out there with the third team. And I believe they still got him on the right side. So I believe that there's a quiet competition that they're not talking about yet, but it's probably going to be once training camp, they're not going to be able to avoid it. And you're probably going to start seeing some rotations where Falele is getting first team snaps at left guard. I think it's going to happen. Now, the other person I'm going to add to this quiet competition is the rookie, J.C. Davis. Now, right now, he's playing second team left tackle, but they already told you he had versatility, and they're looking at him as a guy that's going to start at tackle, but he can also play guard. I think he's quietly in that competition too, but I think the two front runners for that left guard spot are Runyan and Falele, and it's Runyan's job to lose, but he doesn't have too much rope. I'll put it that. That's the best way that I can say. Let me know what you guys think about that. Falele playing on moving to the left side, I don't think that's by chance at all. I think that's a plan. And you definitely got to have some money. And $9 million is nothing to sneeze at when you're in the New York Giants. If you can get back $9 million for a guy that's really not playing that well, I think you do it. And it's some people argue and say Daniel Falele would again. I think Runyan sucks. I think Falele sucks, but Falele don't cost $9 million. And I'm all about saving that money because we might need that money as for operational money come the season. So I really think if Runyan is out there messing up, Falele gets to start. Also, when it comes to preseason, these guys are going to play. Like this offensive line these guys are going to play a lot in the preseason, more than we've seen Giants offensive line, more than we've seen Giants starters play, period, in preseason. These guys are going to play. So we're going to see a lot of Runyan. We're going to see a lot of Falele, especially when it comes to this offensive line. You're going to see a lot of different people out there with a chance to make this, or with a chance to be the starter. And it starts with that left guard spot for me. I think everybody else is pretty much solid as far as their position. Obviously, Andrew Thomas is left tackle. Nothing else to say about that. There might be a little bit of competition at center, but with him going into his fourth year and being a contract year, I think we're going to see the best JMS that we've seen. And speaking of that, I'm going to get into these roster reviews. Actually, let me slow down. Shout out to everybody. I see all the comments. You guys still going on about the OBJ and all that, the back and forth. I see that. My man Bama McDabble says hoping Marcus Bowe can steal left guard. So we're gonna start this, man. We're gonna actually let me get into this right now. I'm gonna do this right now because I got some graphics. We're gonna talk about it just a little bit, right? So here we go with the center options right now. And if you watch the video, shout out to y'all. I appreciate the love and support, man. And shout out to El Scorcho, says my Giants content creator go to our Big Dash, Giants Nation, Big Blue Banter in no particular order. And I appreciate the love and support, man. I really do appreciate the love and support for that, man. I love those guys too. Love the work that they put into, man. It's a lot of Giants content out here, creators out here that are putting in a lot of hard work, and those guys put in a lot of hard work too. There's a lot of us putting in a lot of hard work. So let's talk about the centers really, really quickly. Actually, we got some time. We got 30 minutes. We're gonna break down this offensive line. So your options at center, you got JMS, you got Lucas Patrick, you got Brian Hudson. I do think we keep two centers, right? I do think we keep 9 offensive linemen in total that make the 53 too. We're gonna talk about that too, man. And then you guys can let me know who your 9 or 10 guys, because it's either 9 or 10 offensive linemen that the Giants are going to keep this year. It's some guys that have some versatility, and that's why I think we lean more with 9 versus 10. And plus, we don't know exactly what's going to go on in the wide receiver room. I know John Harbaugh said 6, but depending on what happens, maybe we go 7 wide receivers. It just depends on the health of Malik Neighbors and Darius Slayton. But we talk about the offensive line now. Let's try to keep it on topic, please. We're going to talk about the offensive line. Let's keep it on topic. I am going to go over some points. If I do miss your comments, I do apologize. Let's go ahead. But I definitely want to get into this competition. So JMS, Lucas Patrick, I think those 2 guys make the team. You do need, obviously, your starting center and a backup center. Lucas Patrick also gives you guard versatility as well. So I think those 2 make the squad as the centers. Big year for JMS. Some things I want to point out for JMS is this. We know some of his weaknesses are his strength. He's not the most athletic, but he's athletic enough to get the job done. But when we've seen JMS fail, it's been because he's been bullied and pushed around. So when you look at his body type this year, just off of training camp and OTAs, when you look at some of the pictures that they post, he looks like he got bigger, stronger, right? So I think he's hearing what people are saying. I think he took heed to that, and he actually worked on some of his weaknesses, and that was him getting stronger. Now, if he's getting stronger, and then hopefully that helps with everything else, I think he's going to be a solid center. He's going to get better, but he's not at the point right now where he's good enough to not be replaced. He's definitely replaceable, but I am hoping that JMS does a good job this year, and he can absolutely be, or he can become the center for the future, because it's about a unit, it's about continuity and stuff like that. And if he's successful, that's even better for the future of Jackson Dart and his offensive line, if he can actually be that guy. So I'm rooting for JMS still. I think this is his last chance of actually being the future center for the New York Giants, because right now he's the center for right now. Lucas Patrick, solid backup. Don't want to get into many details about Lucas Patrick. He's just a solid guy. He's been in the league for a while. Not a lot of snaps last year, but he is solid. Played with the Bengals last year. All right. So I'm going to move along. We're going to move along. So let me go ahead and switch that. So now we're going to talk about the guards, because this is where the competition comes to play. This is the guard room going into training camp right now. They might make some moves this week. We might see some players go and some players come. Pause. But this is what we have as far as the guards right now. You got Jon Runyan, Francis Mauigoa right now penciled in as the starters, right? Left guard, right guard. Daniel Faalele, Aaron Stinnie, Evan Neal, Jake Kubas. These are your guard options. These are the guys battling for a roster spot. Jonathan Pride, I see you laughing already. I caught the pause. I caught it. Pause again. I'm on my P's and Q's a bit, man. I see you in there though. Pause. Good Lord. So Jon Runyan, Francis Mauigoa, Daniel Faalele, Aaron Stinnie. Obviously Francis Mauigoa is starting. He's the right guard. You can even say, depending on what happens with Illuminor in the future, at some point in time, Francis Mauigoa might be the future right tackle. But right now, if he's a good right guard, he was an all-pro right guard like people are projecting him to be, then cool, he can stay at right guard. We just need to find the next right tackle. Maybe that's Marcus Bowe. I saw somebody comment about Bowe being a guard. I would much rather see Bowe as a tackle, and he doesn't really fit the prototype of a guard that John Harbaugh likes, because he's not 320 pounds. Yeah. But so Francis Mauigoa was there. Jon Runyan, Daniel Faalele, I believe that's a competition. Again, battle of the bums for me, and may the best bum win the left guard spot. Now let's talk about, some of the dark horses. I'm only doing this because my man OKC keeps saying Evan Neal, in the chat. The first thing I will say about that is they have not moved Evan Neal to the left guard spot yet. I haven't seen any reports of it, and if I do, then fantastic. But right now he's not even breaking like the second team. And with a competition happening between Runyan and Faalele, right now you're looking at those two guys being first and second. But if Daniel Faalele beats out Jon Runyan, I don't think Jon Runyan stays on the team, because again, $9 million, give me my money. They say, give me my money, just give me my money. If Jon Runyan's not the starter, there's no reason why he needs to be on the team. If he's not the starter, I don't want a backup guard making $9 million. It does not make sense. As far as the next guys, right? Jake Kubas, I think Jake Kubas, for me, for the people that really dig deep when it comes to offensive line and UDFAs, a lot of us are rooting for Jake Kubas, right? We're rooting for Jake Kubas, but let's be honest here. We've added way more talent to the roster, and we're sitting here arguing about the battle. Well, I'm saying battle of the bums, but Jake Kubas is still not in that argument yet. Jake Kubas, to me, practice squad guy, respectfully. You still make good money as a practice squad guy. That's where he was last year. Maybe he can still fight and compete and possibly make the 53 at some point in time, but I don't think that's going to happen this year. And then when it comes to Aaron Stinnie is just a solid backup to me. Like if it's between Stinnie and Evan Neal, I'm probably going to go with Stinnie, because he's just more proven. Evan Neal has to, come on, let's be honest. Okay, see, I see you keep saying Evan Neal. let's be honest. In order for Evan Neal to make this 53, he got to play out of his mind this summer. And do you see Evan Neal playing out of his mind possibly? I just don't see it. I just don't see it. So for me, I think 4 guards make the squad. I'm thinking John Runyon, Francis Maui Noah, Daniel Falele. They make the squad. Actually, I'm lying. I think 3 guards make the squad. John Runyon, Francis Maui Noah, and Daniel Falele. So I got 2 centers, 3 guards making the 53. And if we keep 10 offensive linemen, then I can see Aaron Stinnie or maybe then possibly Evan Neal making the 53. Now, if Evan Neal does not make the 53, I think his ride with the New York Giants is over. I don't think Evan Neal is one of those guys that's going to just say, I'm going to go to the practice squad. He still thinks highly of himself and of his ability. And I think if Evan Neal gets cut, I think he goes somewhere else to try to solve his career. And he might just go ahead and do that. There's going to be some team that's going to look at Evan Neal, what he was in college and how high he was drafted, and think that they can fix him, obviously, at a guard. And hopefully we get a chance to see Evan Neal at guard first. I'm still rooting for him, but I don't have expectations for Evan Neal. Again, respectfully. Now let's move it to the tackle. So the reason why I have 2 centers and only 3 guards, making the 53 is because I got 4 tackles making the 53, and 2 of those tackles, actually 3 of those tackles, can actually have guard versatility. Jermaine Illuminor has guard versatility. Marcus Bowe has guard versatility, and J.C. Davis is already expected to have guard versatility. So for me, Andrew Thomas, I don't even need to say anything about Andrew Thomas. To me, he's the best left tackle in the league, even though PFF got him ranked as 4th. To me, he's the best left tackle in the league. It's boring watching him because he just does everything fantastically. Jermaine Illuminor as a right tackle, one of the solid pickups. The reason why Maui Noah is a right guard and not a right tackle is because they paid Jermaine Illuminor. Who knows, at some point in time, you might see a switch. But right now, I like those guys as the bookend tackles. Marcus Bowe and J.C. Davis. So right now we see when Andrew Thomas is out, Marcus Bowe is the first left tackle that they put in. Now, when Andrew Thomas is there, when Andrew Thomas also is not there, J.C. Davis is a left tackle. But we already know that he has versatility as guard, or they expect versatility at guard. So for me, I think you're safe with only 4 tackles, especially when 3 of those tackles can also give you guard versatility. Josh Ezeudu, if you keep 10 guys and it's between Aaron Stinnie, Josh Ezeudu, and Evan Neal, maybe Josh Ezeudu makes the squad. And Ryan Shineki is just a UDFA practice squad guy, possibly. I don't know. So let me get some of these comments because I was yapping for about 10 minutes. Anthony Cherry says, Big Dash, watch out for J.C. Davis at left guard for the future. Louis Riddick mentioned that would be better off for him. Listen, I'm with it. He fits the prototype for John Harbaugh, but he also has great feet. Not good feet, great feet for a tackle. Great feet for a tackle. So, I'm high on J.C. Davis. And the funny thing is, when I put out mock drafts, he was on my radar. I had him in one of the mock drafts too. J.C. Davis, to me, if he's developed, he can be one of those bright spots and possibly a future starting offensive lineman for the New York Giants. You know who deserves a good left guard? Andrew Thomas. Andrew Thomas might be the most deserving of a good left guard. Not the fans, not Jackson. Andrew Thomas, if he can find a left guard partner that he can end his career with, that'd be the best thing ever. And J.C. Davis happens to be that left guard option, then fantastic. There's one less person you got to draft early in next year's draft. But I do think that Marcus Bowe kind of falls to the wayside or put on the back burner because we already know we like Marcus Bowe. I don't know anybody that does not, as far as Giants fans go, I don't know any of us that do not like Marcus Bowe. I think a lot of us have high hopes and expectations for him. I got high hopes and expectations for him, and I still see him as the swing tackle. Like just if J.C. Davis makes that move into guard, Marcus Bowe is already your swing tackle. And we know Illuminor, even though we just re-signed him, he got a 3-year deal. The backup right tackle is still Marcus Bowe. The backup left tackle is Marcus Bowe. So he's probably one of the more important, offensive linemen that we have that's not a starter because he gives you that versatility. He's a swing tackle. And he might be the guy that takes over for Illuminor in 3 years if he's still on the roster. And that's why I say I hope that with Harbaugh that we're more proactive than reactive. I don't want to get to 2028, 2029, and now we're paying every guard that we can find in the offseason in free agency because we did not prepare, for Jermaine Illuminor retiring or something like that. I don't know, man. Let me know what you guys think, man. Four tackles. So that I got us having 9 offensive linemen on the 53. Andrew Thomas, Jermaine Illuminor, Marcus Bowe, J.C. Davis. That's 4. John Runyon, Daniel Falele. Let me go back to the guards. Who was the other one? Francis Maui Noah as your guards, and then JMS and Lucas Patrick. I got us keeping 9 offensive linemen. That gives you an extra roster spot for another position of need. Could it be the wide receiver room? Could it be a cornerback? Could it be the safety room? Maybe middle linebacker. Not sure. You guys are still talking about Slayton and OBJ. You guys are crazy, man. You guys are crazy. Blake says CC is going to be nice. Watch our Zach Martin. I hope so, man. Listen, and it's not just us that are saying it. Yes, he was nice as a right tackle coming out. They project him as a better guard option. I hope he's an all-pro guard. If he's an all-pro guard, fantastic. Let's do that. Shout out to my man Chris. What's going on, Chris? With the $5 super chat, he says, just met Tyler Nubin. He's a cool dude, calling it now. He's going to have a breakout year. I'll DM you my mini interview I did with him. Now, shout out. Send me that, Chris. Shout out to my man Chris. I know you. I'm surprised you didn't change that profile pic. Yeah, I see you got the Yankees one. I know you took a picture with Odell last week at the charity event. But shout out to my man Chris, man. Thank you for the love and support. I can't wait to see the video too. Listen, you don't have to sell me on Tyler Nubin, man. I still think highly of him. I'm just disappointed that we have not seen him be the prospect that we thought he was going to be yet. But if he has that mindset, and again, I will watch that interview to see what the temperature in the room is. I'm definitely rooting for him, because if he ends up being a guy that I saw in Minnesota, then we got one. Then we absolutely got one. But we have not seen that yet, for sure. My man Ant says, sorry, Dash, but Deila is tripping, thinking Slayton adds more value all around in OBJ and what we're. Listen, man, that's a grown man. And Deila definitely going to back it up. Again, he played chess. He don't play checkers. So expect him to have a comeback. And I already see a comeback. He says, my channel. I'm not going to continue to waste my time on this because I know exactly what Odell is at this point of his career. That's when I got a little bit of pushback. I don't know. I know what the expectations might be. But let me ask you this, Dealer. If Odell Beckham actually plays well, would you be surprised? Let me know that. Because like I said, either way, if Odell Beckham surprises people and he plays well, I won't be surprised. If he plays bad, I'm not going to be surprised, because we already know that's the range right now of where he can be. Let's see. Davis going to play tackle. I like Davis at tackle too, man, but they're already talking about it though. They're going to cross train him. He's going to get some guard snaps for sure. I don't know how fast that's going to happen though. I like him as a left tackle option too, but again, we need to solidify that left guard spot. We need to throw as many pieces to try to figure out the problem of left guard. Daniel Falele is not the answer. John Runyon is not the answer. And if we can't find the answer on the team, then we got to draft one. Simple and plain, or we got to sign one in free agency next year. I know Giants Nation Show already put out a video talking about the free agency in 2027. I haven't even dug deep into that at all yet. So I don't know who's on the market, who's going to be available in 2027. But I know they did that show. I didn't get a chance to watch it. I will probably watch it just to see what they were talking about. But yeah, we got to find this left guard spot for the future, man. Right now, this is just a placeholder. Falele, placeholder. Runyon is a placeholder. That's not the future. We still need to figure out what JMS is too, because we might be looking for a future center too if he has a bad season. So yeah, it's still a lot on the table. I think the rest of the offensive line is pretty solid. And I think the better guards that you put around JMS, the better he's going to be. And I would hate the weak link being a left guard affect our opinion of JMS. You know what I mean? When he got to worry about certain things. Blake says if Neil said it twice, The number 7 pick, man, if they can get out of him what he was supposed to be in the first place, that sure would be crazy. Listen, we've been waiting forever. Like the fans wanted him to move to guard after year 2. And they spent 2 more seasons playing the guessing game with him. And then last year when they finally moved him to guard, he couldn't make it through the preseason. He got hurt. And we were waiting to see what he was going to look like at guard. Now, to me, I can't do anything with Evan Neal. I can't depend on him. I can't pencil him down. Nothing like that. He's so far down on the depth chart to me, I can't even think about him. If he does, fantastic. I just don't have the expectations. I'll root for him. I just don't got the expectations. OKC says Runyon going fast, man. Some people was getting on me too about my how I felt about Runyon. I'm like, listen, don't believe anything that I say. Go watch those games. Go watch the games. All those games where the offensive line was fantastic and we were a top 5 rushing team. Go watch Runyon. Go watch Runyon. And then come back and talk to me after that. Yes, the offensive line was better as a whole, but a lot of that had to do with the running backs forcing missed tackles and Jackson Dart creating plays with his legs. Let's be honest, man. Or just go watch. Go watch. When you look at some of these individual scores outside of Andrew Thomas, listen, I can nitpick almost everybody on that offensive line. Even Jermaine, as bad as I want Jermaine Illuminor re-signed, he got weaknesses in his game, especially against run blocking. Especially run blocking. It's a lot of issues, man. They got to clean it up. But again, the offensive line, as long as they play cohesively, then they look good as a unit. But we still got weak links. Oh, y'all still talking about listen, Greg T talking about 33-year-old wide receivers. We got Hines Ward, Steve Smith Jr., Terry Glenn, Steve Smith Sr. Because once he had his son, he became Steve Smith Sr. Michael says, Dash, I saw a picture of Jermaine put on weight. He said because people said he was, listen, Jermaine Illuminor ain't never been small. What, man? Listen, it scared me when I saw him. Because he was visibly, wider than I remembered him. And he was already, I don't know if Jermaine Illuminor was ever considered a small offensive lineman. Pop belly and all. No. But he did say that he put on weight and he got stronger. He did. Hopefully he did get stronger. Yeah. He was for sure a better pass blocker than a run blocker. And with the way that Harbaugh wants to play this offense, we're gonna need him to raise his stock when it comes to run blocking. El Scorcho says, I was so upset we didn't draft Downs, but now I'm so thankful we have Mawanoa. And listen, man, and believe it or not, we would have been happy either way. Like I was kind of upset when we didn't get Downs either because he was right there. We could have had Downs. We could have had Styles. We could have had Downs. We could have had a lot of people. It was a combination of players that we could have had. I'm happy with what we have. I'm happy with Reese. I'm happy with Mawanoa because that's important. The trenches are very, very important. And I think we did a good job there. And then there's going to be some nice safeties that come out next year too if we need one. If we do need one, I think we'll be in a position where we actually can get a good safety too. But it's never really a shortage of safeties. But Caleb Downs just happened to be one of the better safety prospects that we've seen in a while, and that's why we wanted him so bad. Especially once we got 2 picks in the first, in the top 10, we thought it was a thing. And then Reese fell, and the rest is history. What else we got going on? Make sure you guys get your comments in, man. Shout out to the 160 people still in the building too, man. I appreciate the love and support. Happy Saturday to you guys. Hopefully everybody had a good start to their weekend, man. Luann says Odell will shock fans in a good way. I believe that because he is back home. I think he wanted to be here. Also, what he's playing for. I think he's a lot humble too. So I'm even if I don't think he's going to have a major impact And again, I said I wouldn't be shocked. I am rooting for him to have a big impact. I'm rooting for Odell Beckham to be the comeback player of the year. That's what I'm rooting for. I hope that happens. Joel, what's going on? He said, what's good, Dash? Let's hope our Giants follow suit and surprise the world how our Knicks are good. Yeah, that would be fantastic. Imagine that the Knicks win a championship. Somehow the Yankees do their thing and bounce back, and they win the World Series, and the Giants could turn around and win. I'm living in La La Land right now. That's the land of make believe. But man, that would be fantastic. A New York sweep in the major leagues, sports world, baseball, basketball, and football. That'd be fantastic. I don't know, has a city done that in history yet? All of the three top sports, has any city done that in the past, where the city won the World Series, Super Bowl, and NBA Finals? I don't know. That'd be something. Blake just reiterating, Knicks in 4. Shout out to the Knicks, man. That game is tomorrow, right? I'm not bugging, right? Is that game tomorrow or Monday? Let me see. Is that game tomorrow or Monday? Oh, that game is Monday. Game is on Monday. Okay. It's not tomorrow. Game is on Monday. Okay, cool. There's already been a few reports of Deonte Banks getting the best of Odell. Yeah, I saw it was one play. He was able to break up a pass. Don't know if that was in the end zone or not, but he was able to break up a pass on Odell. Good for him. He should be faster than Odell. He ran a 4.3 40. I hope he did. And again, he been playing. He's been playing. I hope so. Michael says, Dash, our safety room is good this year. We got other spots to worry about. I am happy with our safety room. If they pan out, absolutely. If they can get back to form, if Holland can get back to form, if Newman can turn into something else, if Washington, I like Washington. I like Jason Pinnock in the reserve role too. I do like the safety room. I'm just saying, but none of those guys right now are irreplaceable. That's all I'm saying. But they do have the talent to be good. They have the ability to be good, and I'm rooting for that for sure. Again, listen, if these guys play well, there's less money that we got to spend in the room. I like homegrown talent. That's how you keep your cap healthy. If these guys can play, the guys that you have already paid for, if all these guys play well, fantastic. I'm not rooting against any of these guys, because the better they play, the better the Giants are. And that's ultimately all I care about, is the Giants as a whole. Dealer says, I think our Darius Washington is taking Tyler Newman's spot at safety. If he stays healthy, he's a stronger player. I like our Darius Washington. I like his physicality that he brings. He brings you that style of defense that we've been looking for. A little bit reckless at the end of the day, because he is a smaller safety nickel that'll support the run. Yeah, but I like the way he plays ball, man. I like the way he plays ball. And the funny thing about it is, 2 years ago, if you look at his grades, he was a top safety. I think he ranked like 8th in safeties. He got the injury. What was it? I think it was an Achilles. He had the Achilles injury in training camp of 2025, and then we didn't see him. And then now, they signed him, and we got him 1 year deal, another 1 year deal. A lot of guys are 1 year deals, and I think that if they play well, you'll see a lot of guys get extended. Pause. Anthony Cherry says, Big Dash, the reason why Louis Riddick said J.C. Davis might be suited at left guard because he gave up 19 pressures. So they don't want him out there on the island. He has good feet though too, man. I gotta look at that. He gave up 19 pressures. I know Falele gave up 30 pressures. I know Runyon gave up 31 pressures. And listen, we got some holes to fix. And that's why, again, J.C. Davis was drafted in the 6th round for a reason. We talk about potential and development and what he could be. I'm not putting those expectations on him right now. I'm just saying, when you look at what he could possibly develop into, I like it. Those are the type of guys you take chances on in the 6th round. Guy like J.C. Davis, he has the traits. He has good feet. If you can develop him into a solid offensive line prospect, then fantastic. At worst, he becomes a good depth piece if he's not a starter, future starter. And I'm okay with that too for a 6th rounder. Absolutely. Michael says, Dash, cheers. I'm taking my 8th shot of Jack Daniels. 8 shots, man. Slow down, Mike. Slow down, man. 8 shot of Jack Daniels, huh? Well, hopefully it's celebratory and not something that you're trying to get away from. I'll say that. But 8 shots is ridiculous, brother. Slow down. Slow down. Hopefully you're at home. Hopefully you're somewhere comfortable and you can just go to bed after that. Safe for everybody. But slow down on that Jack Daniels, man. 8 shots? Good Lord. 8 shots, Mike? No, sir. Shout out to you though. If you could take it, you could take it. Pause. Enjoy your night. Enjoy your night. Because guess what? In about 15 minutes, you probably gonna be asleep, Mike. I'm gonna be honest with you. You're either gonna be asleep or you're either gonna be trying to chase something to go to sleep. Respectfully. You're either gonna be asleep or gonna be trying to get put to sleep. That's it. Shout out to you, Mike, though. Nova Nebula in the building. What's going on, Nova? How you doing, man? He says, you pulling up to the Knicks parade, though? Nah, I'm not. You're not. Listen, I'm on the West Coast, man. I wish I could just get up and go and just and pop up in places. Nah, man. I got a plan for stuff like that. I got a family. Big family. Just can't be leaving and popping up. That's for the young people, man, and the people that live in the area. Shout out to y'all that can move around freely like that. Shout out to y'all. Dealer says the Turk is going to knock on his door at training camp and say, give me the playbook. They done pissed you off in here, huh, Dealer? Just a little bit? Just a little bit. It's Monday. I just checked. The next game is on Monday. So I think that's Monday, Wednesday, and hopefully the New York Knicks are going to be champions come Wednesday night. Middle of the week, and then that parade is going to probably happen Friday or something like that. And call the National Guard is what you're going to do. Shout out to my man Jonathan Pride in the building. He says, great job tonight. He says, my friend are safe. He said, I'm safe for sure. And this is the guy that makes sure I'm in line and I don't miss any of the pauses. So shout out to my man Jonathan Pride, man, king of the pause. Pause to that. For keeping me in line and keeping me in check and let me know when I'm bugging and when I'm doing things the right way. Shout out to my man Jonathan. No Mets, no Nets, no Jets says, in the US it's still Saturday. Nah, it is. It's still Saturday. It's still Saturday for sure. We got a little less than an hour before it's midnight or tomorrow, I should say, on the East Coast. I do want to get caught up. We are at the 2-hour mark. We're going to close this thing out, man. I do appreciate everybody for vibing tonight. I think we had a good time. I think it was a good chat. The chat was live as usual. I will say this, man. The chat is never dry. You guys keep it very, very interesting in the chat, man. And I do appreciate you guys for that. I'm sitting here yapping for 2 hours. You guys are engaged and talking amongst each other and having these conversations, debates, arguments, and all that stuff. And I love every minute of it. And shout out to you guys for making this thing even more fun than it already is. And I do enjoy these late night Giants talks for sure, man. So shout out to y'all. My man Reggie says, yes, sir. Have a good night, big. You kicking me off already, Reg? You kicking me off early? Now I'm getting out of here, but shout out to my man Reg, man. Corky says, I'm betting on Denard Wilson in our defensive season. I am too, man. I am too. Mike says, Dealer watch New York Giants first game and Odell does a one-hand catch and a touchdown. I hope so. You know that's probably going to be a parlay somewhere. Somebody's going to have, first touchdown for the Giants. Odell is going to be like plus 4,000 or something stupid. And somebody gonna make some money on that, possibly, maybe. XT Paint, what's going on? Said good night, thanks Dash. Dealer says, Chris, Man, Newman takes bad angles, gets burned up when the wide receivers press him deep down. Yeah, he got some things to clean up for sure. Rev says, great night. Have a good night, gentlemen and ladies. Ladies, it's still some women in the chat too. Got to show support for the women as well. I know you do though, Rev, and I know you got church in the morning just like me. Alex says, trade Slayton and Neal for a pack of Newports. Ain't nobody giving us Newports for Slayton and Neal. That's not. You can't even get that. You aiming too high. You can probably get a bag of chips. You probably get a bag of chips and some penny candies, man. Shout out to the people that know what I'm talking about when I say penny candies. Some of y'all ain't old enough for that though. But we're going to close this thing out, man. I appreciate everybody, man. Shout out to y'all. I didn't miss. Make sure I get all these super chats. I did get the super chats. So we all good in here, man. Vaporizer says, great stuff, Dash. Love these late night talks. Less than 100 days. Let's effing go. Nah, that's a fact. That's a fact. My man, Dash Life. You already know what it is. It says, you say it's in your name. Us, Dash, we go to sleep early. And this is a late night for us for sure. It says, good night and God bless. And that's how we going to end this, man, with this comment here. So I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows Big Blue Nation. Let's go.